What's going on, guys? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today what I want to get into is if the Jets missed out or not on this offensive coordinator. And who am I talking about? Eric Bieniemy. Now, obviously, the Jets spent this past offseason by hiring Nathaniel Hackett. Well, it's still the offseason. Actually, the offseason really just started, but the Jets were done early, so they hired their offensive coordinator already in Nathaniel Hackett, but Eric Bieniemy might be on the move. So why is Eric Bieniemy on the move? Let's talk through this. So first, the report from Ian Rappaport is the Commanders will interview Chiefs OC Eric Bieniemy tomorrow for their still vacant OC job. He's a top candidate. They spoke with Greg Roman yesterday, which went well, and have no other interviews scheduled. People might say, why would Eric Bieniemy possibly move circumstances? He's in a great spot with Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and he's eventually going to get a job. Well, that's the thing. He's been the offensive coordinator now for the Kansas City Chiefs for 5 straight seasons, from 2018 through this year in 2022. It's resulted in 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and, well, let's go through the numbers. And once again, I understand he's not the one calling plays. Andy Reid is calling plays. He's not sitting there with his thumb up his you-know-what. He's involved in the play design. He's involved in the game plan each week. And in his 5 years, he's been in yards, 1st, 6th, 1st, 3rd, 1st, and then in points, 1st, 5th, 6th, 4th, 1. So he essentially has a top 5 offense every single season. Now, again, I understand the concern, right? He's never called plays before. You don't want to necessarily hire him as a head coach if he hasn't called the plays, but he has a ton of coaching experience. He's a running backs coach with Kansas City for years and years and years prior. He was an offensive coordinator in college. This guy, I think, deserves an opportunity to be a head coach, and he's not getting those opportunities year after year after year. He interviews a few times, but he's never gotten a job up until this point. He's not getting a head coaching job. If he was to go somewhere else and be the one who's calling plays, maybe that's finally the thing that makes a difference here for Eric Bieniemy. Maybe that's what finally gets him hired. If he goes to a new place and gets things, going in the right direction for whatever franchise he goes to. But the reason why I feel like the Jets missed out a little bit is because I as sure as hell would rather Eric Bieniemy over Nathaniel Hackett. Now, maybe you go, well, the Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers 1-2 punch it. Okay, yeah, that's fair. But just overall as a coach, wouldn't you rather Eric Bieniemy? And the Jets obviously just did not have him on the list. Maybe he doesn't want to come here, but what I don't get, it's not like the Commanders have their long-term quarterback in place either. They are going into the offseason with Sam Howell, and do they go for Derek Carr? Are they someone who maybe they make a play for Lamar Jackson? Like, there are so many different options. I feel like the Commanders and the Jets are in a similar spot where there's definitely question marks at the quarterback position, but there are other spots on the roster. Specifically, the defense is good. But then you look at the playmakers, okay, pretty good running back. You have a great wide receiver. Like, there's something to work with there. So why would Bieniemy be interested in going there and interview there? I just feel like you're missing out a little bit, and you settled for Nathaniel Hackett. And maybe it all works out, and maybe I'm getting all bent out of shape for no reason here. Maybe Eric Bieniemy just ends up going back to the Kansas City Chiefs. But if he's available, if he's taking interviews, wouldn't you have wanted to talk to Bieniemy? Would you have taken that risk and said, you know what, we'll hold off on hiring Nathaniel Hackett because he's got a million job offers right now? Like, come on. You could have waited if you really wanted to. I don't know. I personally, Bieniemy is someone who was on my radar to be a Jets head coach. Probably the last 2 searches. Definitely the last search back in 2021. And I imagine in 2019 he was probably on some people's list, but has not gotten a job yet. 5 years as an OC, has not gotten a job. He may be looking to go elsewhere so that he can prove, okay, yes, I could do it away from Andy Reid. And I would have liked that experiment to happen with the New York Jets. It doesn't seem that way, but let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on what you think about Eric Bieniemy. If he's going to leave KC, does he stick it out in KC? Did the Jets miss an opportunity here? Let me know what you think down below. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I will talk to you next time.